I am bad. A bad mother, a bad entrepreneur, a bad businesswoman, a bad neighbor, a bad wife, a bad neighbor. I'm bad. Have you ever felt that loud, deep shout from within telling you how bad you are? My dear, you are not alone. This theme has come repeatedly in books and friends. To me, this week is just full of women feeling bad. This is a story that is pervasive because this is a very real story. This is a very old programming. This is a very old story that we all women have. If you decide to be a mom and take care of your children, you lack a mission. If you decide to be a girl boss and work hard, you are a selfish brat. If you cut your hair, you are just way too masculine. If you let your hair long, you are a lazy, self-absorbed, vain woman. If you are married, you are dependent and not emancipated. But if you are single, what's wrong with you? And the list goes on and on and on. That whatever thing you do, you're bad. For the longest time, we have been a society celebrating one of the two forces of creation, and that is the force of expansion, the force of going out. Just think about the famous saying of just do it. Action. The winner is all about the force of nature of, you see, when nature creates everything with two movements, the centrifugal force and the centripetus force. The centrifugal force is the one of expansion, of growing, of travel, of going and climbing the mountain. You know what I mean? The very masculine yang force. It is a beautiful force. It is an important force. It's the force that has created so much stuff that we are very grateful to have right now. It has created, technology and governments and so many beautiful things. But the other force is that centripetus force, the force that goes to the inside. This force that goes from the height of the mountain to the bottom of your heart, to the bottom of the heart of the earth, to the depths, to the abyss, to the things that we don't want to see. That is the yin. That is the witch. That is death. That is Saturn. That is time. That is Kali. We don't want to talk about that because that's scary. Halloween, that's labeled, that's scary. That's what I love, and I'm so grateful that I'm Mexican, because we have this important party and this important concept that is the Day of the Dead, the concept that during the 1st and 2nd of November, our departed come to see us. Because you see, our departed are not a scary ghost. They are our grandma, our ancestors. This darkness, this badness is the feminine. And we don't want to see it because it's very scary. It's really our inner witch, our inner Lilith. I will link here to a video that I created on Lilith because you will love it. That inner witch, that inner bad, destructive nature that we all have, Jung used to call it the shadow. This part of our psyche, we try and pretend that we don't have all human beings in the planet. Why? Because indeed it's dark, it's corrosive, it's murderous, it's destroying. So we want to repress it to stay alive. But life itself brings us back to this part of our psyche because at some specific moments in our life, we are ready to revisit it. When you are feeling this sense of badness, is that the sense of renewal is knocking the door for you. And instead of repressing it and trying to pretend that this doesn't exist, I offer you the possibility of seeing it with different eyes. And seeing the possibility that this is part of your psyche where there is growth. There is immense growth that will come from this. If you keep repressing it and postponing it and repressing it, it's just going to come out louder next time. Have you noticed that when you have, a bad boyfriend and just split with him and start with a new one, the second one just repeats the same patterns of problematic patterns that your soul that makes you feel as bad? And then if you don't dare to look at your shadow, then you split with that second boyfriend and you get a new one, and he's even worse. He's expressing even in a darker way those elements that you don't want to see, those elements of inadequacy. And it can happen with anything that repeats in your life. The bad relationships, the bad jobs, the arriving late, the making a product launch and failing it yet again and again and again. If you are feeling bad right now because you click on this video, your own soul, reality, life, the great mother is invite you to visit this concept. And to visit this concept not with the intention of changing it, not with the intention of it to stop bothering you, but with the intention of befriending your shadow, befriending your badness, your dark side, your inner witch. This is just like befriending the witch of any of the tales where the witches were not invited. Sleeping Beauty is just so perfect story. 12 witches are invited and 13 was not invited, but she showed up and she gave the gift of death to the little girl. What could happen if instead you consciously invite to the party to this 13th witch, to the witch of your inner witch, your psychological archetypal witch, and you befriended and consciously, courageously dare to sit with her and listen to what she has to say of what needs to die in your own psyche, in your own inner landscape. And what kind of things are the things that need to die? Your inability to set boundaries, your constant lying, your constant accommodating, your constant, all these things that you don't dare to tell people that you are doing, but you know that you are doing. And they are making you small. They are separating you from the life that you know that you deserve. And the only way out of that, towards the path towards you becoming the next version of you, becoming more you, is to release these elements of you that you have already understood, and you are able to let them go. The best help for you is to befriend this shadow, to befriend this darkness, to befriend your identity as the bad one, and say what needs to go. I give you some examples about my badness. I'm a bad mother. I'm a bad mother. It's, for me, absolutely impossible to have every single meal on time, warm, nutritious. I'm a bad mother. I cannot do it. And I just decided I cannot do it. When I had that conversation with my inner bad mother, and I decided to be it. And now the children are doing their own breakfast. And sometimes they even cook dinner. To own that I am a bad mother. And it's very interesting and paradoxical, because the more I embrace this badness, the more I am encouraging the children to grow and to be who they are. Another example, I'm a bad entrepreneur. You know what is very interesting? Whenever I try business strategies, marketing strategies to create videos that don't resonate with me, that don't make my heart sing, guess what happened with them? They are an absolute complete disaster. Instead, when I forget about my own vanity and my own ego of how good this could be, and concentrate in being, on servicing, really killing that egoic, vain idea of proving myself, the result is astonishing. I tell you one of the results that I am absolutely over the moon. And now I'm realizing that this is starting to repeat. Women that work with me, several, have started just, looking for love in a bad job. And after working with me, magically they change job. They meet a lovely guy. And now they have children. One is pregnant, the other one, the baby has a couple of years, the other one has a couple of years. How does that happen? Because of this allowing to get myself in the shadow of burning my inadequacies, holding that space for them to allow them to burn their inadequacies, because this is the interesting part of this. When you start doing your inner work of owning your own shadow, owning your own badness, you allow the rest to own their own shadow as well. You become a role model, your vibration changes, and people around you start seeing themselves in different light. So it's like creating ripple effects that you never imagined that could be created. So how do you do that? How do you befriend that shadow? It's simply by being with it. It's not about reframing. It's not about trying to change it, because it doesn't work. And just allow it. I think I'm bad. Yes, I'm bad. And accept that I am insufficient. I am insufficiently intelligent, insufficiently kind, I'm not articulate enough, I am aggressive, I don't listen well. You know, you name it, make your list and just be with it. Just be with it, accept it without changing it. As you accept it without the need of changing it, it will start morphing in front of your eyes. Because those qualities that could sound so horrible could be precisely the thing that makes you so beautifully and authentically you. I was just thinking of Fred Astaire. In one of his first rejections, the person who rejected him said he cannot act. Of course, he couldn't act because he was a dancer, not an actor. So own your badness, and you are going to become more three-dimensional. You are not going to be just this two-dimensional person with black and white. This is good, this is bad, and that's it. As you own your own shadow, you will find the nuances of the complexity of reality, the nuance and the complexity of you. And in nuance and complexity, there is beauty. As you own your own shadow, you are going to see the beauty of your existence, of your soul, of your life, and the beauty all around you. This is the gift of I Am So Bad. Let me tell you more. There are other 3 stories that keep us away from having and being all you want. I am linking here a video where I share with you the 4 stories, including this one, I Am Bad, that keeps us stuck in Groundhog Day and repeating like in a hamster wheel the very same mistakes, the very same programming that has been ancestrally inherited by, by our mom, by our grandma, by our culture of origin, and how you can conquer them, how you can get the gold out of them so they become, instead of barriers, doors towards the life that you long for. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I don't know where to put my tea. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I wish you all the best.